let's talk about one of the most fun and downright funny poems you'll probably ever come across, Ogden Nash's The Tale of Custard the Dragon. It's seriously a masterclass in how to build comedy. So today, we're going to break down the recipe and see exactly how Nash uses rhythm, characters, and a whole lot of irony to cook up a story that is guaranteed to make you laugh.
So let's just jump right in with the big idea, the central question that the entire poem is built on. What if you took this legendary creature, known for breathing fire and being terrifying, and you made him a total scaredy cat? This one simple, hilarious idea is the engine for all the humor that follows. And right from the get-go, Nash sets this really whimsical scene. Everything is so cute and normal. A little house, a kitten, a mouse, and then boom, a dragon. And you gotta love that phrase, realio trulio. It's completely made up, of course, and it's Nash's way of telling us right away, hey, don't take this too seriously, we're just here to have some fun.
Okay, so who exactly are the players in this little drama? Let's meet the inhabitants of this little white house.
All right, so we've got Belinda, our main human character. Then there's Ink, the little black kitten, Blink, the little gray mouse, and a dog named Mustard, who's apparently very shark. And then, of course, the one who doesn't quite fit. A dragon named Custard. Even his name sounds soft and sweet, right? Not exactly what you'd call a fire-breathing beast.
And here is the absolute heart of the joke. Custard looks every bit the part of a monster, but deep down, he's just not. This massive gap between how he looks and who he really is, well, that's where Ogden Nash finds so much of the comedy.
I mean, listen to how Nash describes him. He's literally ticking all the dragon boxes. Sharp teeth, spikes, scales, a mouth like a fireplace. He builds up this incredible, fearsome image, which just makes it so much funnier when we realize this terrifying-looking creature just wants to hide in a cage.
Now, this poem isn't just a bunch of funny lines. The way it's actually built, its structure, is a huge part of the joke itself. So the poem is written in the form of a ballad. And if you think about traditional ballads, what comes to mind, right? There are these epic stories about great heroes, amazing courage, and brave deeds. They're meant to be really serious and inspiring.
And this is where Ogden Nash is just brilliant. He takes that whole epic ballad formula and just completely flips it on its head. Instead of a brave knight, our hero is a cowardly dragon. Instead of real heroism, we get a lot of empty boasting. And that serious, epic tone, it's replaced with pure humor. It's a parody, and it's just fantastically done.
So that brings us to the next big source of comedy in this poem, and it is all about contrast. It's not just about Custard being a coward, it's about how he compares to his tiny, very boastful housemates. This chart just lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? I mean, look at these claims. They're totally over the top. Belinda's as brave as a barrel full of bears. The tiny kitten and mouse, apparently they chase lions down the stairs. The little dog is as brave as a tiger in a rage. And then there's the giant, powerful dragon, and all he wants is a nice, safe cage. The contrast is just hilarious. And because of all this, poor Custard, he becomes the running joke of the house. Everyone, even the tiny mouse, makes fun of him for being a coward. It makes them all feel big and brave to poke fun at the one creature who's supposed to be the bravest of them all. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does Nash use the words themselves to make us laugh? Let's pop open his comedy toolkit. All right, for anyone studying this poem, this is huge. Pay attention to the similes, those comparisons using like or as. Nash uses them constantly to paint these really vivid and often hilarious pictures in your head. The pet's bravery is compared to these huge, wild animals. But when Custard finally acts, his actions are described with these powerful industrial sounds, like snorting like an engine. These similes really make the story pop. And you can't talk about this poem without talking about the rhythm. Just listen to it. House/mouse, wagon/dragon. It's that classic ABB rhyme scheme. It's so bouncy and simple, it almost feels like a nursery rhyme, right? And that's on purpose. It keeps the whole tone light and playful, and makes sure we never take the danger or the character's big talk too seriously. Okay, so we've got our cast of characters set up, a bunch of big talkers and one terrified dragon. But what happens when a real threat actually shows up? And just like that, a pirate arrives. And check out how Nash spells window. Winda. It's such a small detail,
But it's another one of those little winks to the reader, a little piece of silliness that lowers the tension and reminds us, hey, this is all in good fun. So how do our so-called brave heroes react to a real pirate? Well, they completely fall apart. It's chaos. Belinda is screaming for help, Mustard runs away yelping, Ink hides, and my personal favorite, Blink strategically mousehold. Framing his panicked escape as some kind of clever strategy is just pure comedy gold. But then, guess who steps up? Custard, our coward, and look, here are those awesome similes again, describing this sudden burst of ferocity. He doesn't think, he doesn't hesitate, he just goes at the pirate like a robin snapping up a worm. It's pure instinct, and it is incredibly effective.
And the big dramatic fight, yeah, there isn't one. It's over in a second. One bite, and the pirate is just gone. The anticlimax is so quick and decisive, and that's what makes it so funny.
And then you get the absolute best part, the punchline of the whole poem. The second the danger is over, guess what? Everyone's brave again. They all start making excuses for why they ran and hid. And what does Custard do? The actual hero? He just humbly agrees with them. He lets them have their moment, and the whole story just snaps right back to where it started. It's brilliant.
And that's really what Nash leaves us with, isn't it? Underneath all the laughter, there's the simple question: what is real bravery? Is it the people who talk a big game and boast about chasing imaginary lions? Or is it the one who's terrified but steps up anyway when it actually counts? It's definitely something to think about.